Yo, I don't like that you can hear my breathing on this microphone. Yo, test test. Let me see how loud I can get before I start speaking. Well, here. Test 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 test. 4. Yo, test. Test. Hello? I'm just gonna keep it real with you. I'm bored of Silk Song. I don't want to play that game anymore. So, right now, we're gonna come up with the plan, the schedule from now until the rest of the year of what games we're gonna play. And we're gonna start a new one today. I let myself get sucked in to the hype of Silk Song. I was like, hey, you know what? This game is not so bad. But the more I play it, the more I realize that it kind of is. Well, at least we have good content to make. Hating on Silk Song, that's gonna get views, right? Hate views. Test, 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 test. One second. Want to go grab a mug to put my microphone on top of. Okay. How loud is this? Test. Test, 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 test. Test, test, test. Test, 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 test. Test. Is it loud enough? Okay. Let me pull this up really quick. I'm pulling up a Photoshop document. I forgot to mention some games that I should probably put in here. I am using a second monitor. Second monitor is what's causing my screen to freeze. So I don't want to risk it. Also, where do I put this? Okay. I forgot to add this one in. We're gonna play this game. For sure, for sure. sooner rather than later. And then I remembered another one. Which one did I remember? I literally just had it in my mind right now. Anyway. I guess the first thing to do should be to download the emulator. Wait, is this the official one? Because I heard that it got destroyed basically. Is this a BMG? Universal? What does that mean? Here we'll go to our trusty guy. We'll go to our trusty guy who we trust for everything Mac gaming related. The man, the myth, the legend himself, Andrew Tsai. Can't type today. 2 years ago, 1 year ago.
So it's finally happened, the Mac version of Ryujinx, the Nintendo Switch. So the first thing we're going to do is to go to ryujinx.org and then go to
But I mean, basically what happened
here.
was,
I'm going to leave a link to this in the description. And what you're going
it didn't get like
we have 3 different versions
taken down, like completely deleted.
And Mac OS. And
It was more like
because all of the changes
they're not allowed to.
the mainline branch. So I'm down the latest version of the Mac
They're not
OS
allowed
release,
to
just by
continue to
clicking on the
update
button
it,
here,
which is still
and
fine.
go and
It's still gonna
minimize
be
this,
there.
go to Finder and then downloads. So within this folder, we're going to double click and it's extract this tar.gz
perplexity.
folder, and we're going to get this Ryujinx app. So just
Yo,
drag
is
and
my
drop this into
signal
the
bad?
applications folder, then let go. And then within applications, we're going to scroll down until we find Ryujinx, and we're going to double click on this. So here it says it can't be opened. So what we're going to do is to hold down the control key.
What's wrong with
and then
this?
Click on Ryujinx and then press open, and then this is going to allow us to manually open this file. So we've opened this up, and now it says that Ryujinx keys cannot be found. So we need the prod.keys file and various other files in order to proceed. So next what we're going to do is to set up our prod.keys and title.keys file. I'm not allowed to show you where to get these files from. You should extract them from your own broken switch, or they can easily be found on the internet. We're going to copy these files and we're going to go.
I wouldn't know what version I need. One point 3.2. I don't know what this means, but I'm gonna go ahead and download this one. Okay.
To Go and Finder. We'll hold down the Option key to reveal the library section here, and then we're going to go to Application Support, double click, and then we're going to find the Ryujinx folder, which should have been created when you opened up Ryujinx, and then we're going to double click on Find the I'm going to copy these. So what we're going to do is this.
God.
So we need the prod.keys file and various other files in order to proceed. So next what we're going to do is to set up our prod.keys and title.keys file. So I'm not allowed to show you where to get these files from. You should extract them from your own jailbroken switch. They can easily be found on the internet. We're going to copy these files and we're going to go to Go and Finder. We're going to hold down the Option key to reveal the library section here, and then we're going to go to Application Support, double click, and then we're going to find the Ryujinx folder, which should have been created when you opened up Ryujinx, and then we're going to double click on System, and then here we're going to control click on this blank space and then click Paste to Items. So those files are now within the correct folder. So next we need to install the switch firmware into the Ryujinx application. So this should come in the format of a folder with various NCA files inside of it. You should extract this from your own jailbroken switch, or you can find these files online as well. I'm not allowed to show you where to get them exactly.
I never remembered how to get to that.
We just open this up again. We can go to Tools and then Install Firmware, and then install
folder
firmware from a directory, and then we select the folder that we've extracted. You should extract this from your.
It doesn't have the path
within the correct folder. So next we need. I'm going to go to Application Support,
Library Application Support,
and then we're going to find the Ryujinx folder.
Application Support, Ryujinx, and then paste them to where?
Which should have been created when you opened up Ryujinx, and then we're going to double click on System, and then here we're going to control click on this blank space and then click Paste to Items. So those files are now within the correct folder. So next we need to install the switch firmware into the Ryujinx application.
Oh god.
So this should come in the format of a folder with various NCA files inside of it. You should extract this from your own jailbroken switch, or you can find these files online as NCA files inside. To items. So those files are now within the correct folder. So next we need to install the switch firmware into the Ryujinx application. So this should come in the format of a folder with various NCA files inside of it. You should extract this from your own jailbroken switch, or you can find these files online as well. I'm not allowed to show you where to get them exactly, but they're fairly easy to locate. So now within Ryujinx we just open this up again. We can go to Tools and then Install Firmware, and then Install Firmware from a directory, and then we select the folder that I've
done this before. I don't.
Within it, and press Open. Because the keys files
I'm not scared of getting a virus or anything. Not like Max can get viruses, but
now that's
anyway.
installed, it says here we are on system version 16.1.0. So next what we need to do is to go ahead and add a game directory. So this is going to contain NSP or XCI files, and what we're going to do is to add the directory with all of our Switch ROMs in them. Getting games is quite straightforward. You can rip them from a genuine Switch cartridge with a jailbroken or the NCA jailbroken Switch, or of a folder with various NCA files inside of it. You should extract this from your own jailbroken switch, or you can find these files online as well. I'm not allowed to show you where to get them exactly, but they're fairly easy to locate. So now within Ryujinx we just open this up again. We can go to Tools and then Install Firmware, and then Install Firmware from a directory, and then we select the folder that we've extracted, and exactly, but they're fairly easy to locate. So now within Ryujinx we just open this up again. We can go to Tools and then Install Firmware.
Am I supposed to have that?
And then we select the folder that we've extracted with all the NCA files within it, and then press Open. Because the keys files are the correct.
Wait, hold on.
Again, we can go to Tools and then Install Firmware. It's really easy to locate. So now within Ryujinx, we just open this up again. We can go to Tools and then Install
File Options Actions Tools. File Options Actions View. Let me. Is it a zip? Oh, that easy? Okay. I actually have this from a long time ago. It's a link to download Breath of the Wild in a Google Drive. I got this years ago, and I never thought that I would use it again, but I kept it anyway. It's 3 parts. It is 3 parts, right? What? Can you... DLC? No, we wouldn't need any of the DLC. 8 gigabytes. Update data. So is it even worth it to do right now on stream? Is that gonna mess up my stream quality? I should have done this before stream, but whatever. What the hell? Okay, well in the meantime, while we wait for that to download, we could play a game of League of Legends. Wait, it's already... Okay, almost downloaded. Okay, well that's another one of the... Okay, so I was thinking about it, right? Yesterday I was kind of conflicted. I was like, I want to play these games, but I don't know if they'll be popular. I don't know if they'll work on the algorithm. So I spent time thinking about which of these games are going to be the most marketable. And so this one's pretty good. We'll keep that. Well, we already did. I think this one. I think this one. This one. This one. This one. This one. This one. A Resident Evil game. This one could do well. This one. This one. I don't know about Devil May Cry 3. I don't think people will even know what game that is. This one I want to. This one too. I mean, if I really want to play a game, then I'll just do it. Because I want to. Move this one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Which we gotta remove too. We remove. What is this playing? Apparently people like this one. San Andreas? Do people care about that game anymore? What about Pokemon though? The scratch discs are full. What does that even mean? And what does it have to do with me moving the document? Oh my biggest nightmare. Oh, because I'm downloading this. The DMGs are okay. I mean, I'm trying to delete this one. Kind of have to. I just installed FL Studio. I made this short. Well, I guess it won't show it right now, but well, I don't see why not. It's not like I expect. So I made this little short. It took me like 10 minutes to make. It wasn't even well made. I just wanted to try out posting a short.
She don't believe in shooting stars, but she believe in shoes and cars. Wood floors in the new apartment. Couture from the store's departments. You more like love to start. I'm more of the trips to Florida, order the hors d'oeuvres, views of the water, straight from a page.
It's just, that's my favorite Minecraft song. And then this song, obviously it's a classic, great song. I felt like they kind of fit. And they're not even mixed well. And I was kind of shocked. I was kind of shocked because this thing has 855 views, which, you know, I know that shorts are always going to get more views, but you guys have heard about the 300 view jail, right? So the fact that it's up at this many views, even if it only has a few likes, this is still more than 10% likes to view ratio. So, I mean, I'll probably make some more of these. Specifically, like music ones, like Minecraft mashup music ones. And it's not even well mixed. And I didn't even choose a font. And, you know, I just made some like auto captions. It could be so much better. And all of that was because I was inspired by this one. Came from a... Oh, and actually, did you see that? Did you see this video? That's crazy. I literally just looked up like Minecraft with shaders montage, and I recognized these exact frames from the video I used. That beehive. Look, that was in my video. This is in my video. We literally used the same one, and it's not even like non-copyright. It was just the first one I could find. I'll see how it does. I mean, in 4 hours, I think it performed kind of well. Yeah, I mean, I was definitely avoiding making shorts for a long time because they're just so hard to make. You know, just like packing so much energy and content into one little short piece. It's kind of exhausting. And then also having to edit in 9:16 ratio, like vertical. It's ugly for like trying to fit the proportions and make it look pretty. It's so hard to design for. Okay, is it done downloading? Okay, file, load. It's this one. uking.rpx. Wait, don't tell me it's not. It's in a file format that isn't supported. Wait, what? Hmm? No. Here. We're gonna call it Zelda. Just because why not? And we're gonna put this game here. Wait. Let me just look it up. Does oh, it was for oh, okay. Where can I get the game then? It was for Wii U, not the Switch version. Why doesn't this close? Let me see what I can do about that. Echoes of Wisdom. I also want to play that game. It does look pretty fun. And also Link's Adventure DX. I never played Link's Adventure growing up, the original one. Pokemon Legends Arceus. That one was a good game. I really liked it. I don't know if anybody cares about it anymore right now. NSP or XCL? Does it matter? You know, I really like Kingdom Hearts. It's actually one of the first games I ever played in my entire life. Kingdom Hearts 2, still to this day, it is the single best action RPG. I can't believe that this was made, you know, in 2005. And it has better game mechanics than any game that has come out in like the past 10 years. Why is this file bigger? No, doesn't matter. It'll download it quickly. Yeah, I mean, I'm just ready to play new games, honestly. I want a little bit of variety to keep myself entertained, but more than anything, it's just Silksong is just not it for me, honestly. I love the vibe of it. I love the art style. I love the sound. I love the music. But I don't like the game. The actual gameplay is not very good. This is how desperate I am for content. I'm gonna go into the worst place of all the internet. Twitter.com. I'm kidding. The trending tab here. Games about letting go. 903,000 views within 7 months. XQC clips I watch. I love XQC. Look, I think this is the vibe, right? If you just watch.
The opening of Final Fantasy X is one of the busiest starts to a game you'll find.
I was gonna talk, and then I saw Final Fantasy X, and I shut up. This game is probably
to a stadium with a hanging sphere of water at the center of the playing field for a sport that you could only have dreamt up. Heavy guitar riffs tear
this is
your soul.
What I'm seeing. I'm seeing that if I want to talk about a game, right? Like if I want to make videos about Final Fantasy X or talk about it, you know, because I love it, I would have to do it in a video about games, not a Final Fantasy X dedicated video. You know, just for algorithm purposes. You know, really.
City. The sphere of water shatters and falls. Statues and buildings crumble. Sirens sound. People cower in terror and eventually are seemingly...
This is the guy who kind of taught me all about videos. Like, he has so many videos where he just talks about gaming in general. And he kind of just speaks the truth. And people like it. How do I explain it?
Let me take you back to 2002. Online gaming for consoles was just starting to emerge. You had the PS2 network adapter and you had Xbox Live. Remember stupid ass Dark Master? I must have been like 12 years old when I got my Xbox. I got Return to Castle Wolfenstein. I got that old school headset and I get in there.
So you see, here he's talking about games he likes.
Hey guys, let's go win the
But obviously,
game, dude.
if he was to make a Return to Castle Wolfenstein video, nobody would watch it.
6-year-old little bitch.
And just talking about the experience, what it was like back in the day to play games. It's just, that's what people want to hear. You know, people right now, especially my age, around there. I see a lot of nostalgia videos on YouTube. Like everybody kind of wants to go back to those days where they actually had good games. Final Fantasy 17 is all the Square Enix involved. Dude, I can't wait for a new Final Fantasy game. Nostalgia. And I mean, I know that the algorithm shows you what you want to watch. So yeah, I realized that I watch a lot of nostalgia videos. But that's kind of like the landscape of YouTube right now, at least for people my age. Is nostalgia, how Persona can improve your mental health. So clearly there's a lot of self-help. People looking for self-help in gaming videos. Oh, a new Cardi B song. I swear there were a lot more earlier this morning. Existentialism. I really like this movie, by the way. Look. People just like romanticizing aesthetics from the past. Where's the beat? No beat? Obviously this was a very popular aesthetic back in the day, like in the PS2 era. Zelda wave. Nostalgia is just like the top concept on YouTube right now. And you know, like self-help and you know, even if you look up this game, which nobody nowadays knows. Right, I keep mentioning because it's my favorite game. 4 years ago, oh, okay. 2 years ago, 123,000 views. Wait, actually that doesn't perform very well. Maybe I should make a video about it. Well, this has got a lot of views, but it's 38 seconds. 7 years ago, 800,000 views. That's because this person's popular. SMT Nocturne Hard Mode first playthrough ever. 7 views in 3 days. 6 months ago, 25k views. 2 years ago, almost 1 million views. So this is obviously a game that I really want to play, but it's one that I would play later, you know, if the channel ever caught on and people were actually interested in hearing my opinions on games. Oh, what? Look at this guy. Commented on my reel.
She don't believe in shooting stars, but she believe in shoes and cars. Wood floors in the new apartment. Couture from the store's departments. You more like love to start.
You know, I wish I could do that. And maybe I'm just like caught up in my own head about it. But I'm not the only one to speak about this. You know, there's a difference between doing what you want to do and doing what works. Like, I literally took me 10 minutes to make this. I made this mashup in the studio, in FL Studio, in like 10 minutes. And then I put the video together. And I hope people like it. I mean, already, it feels good. That's something I really like. It's performing decently.
You know, maybe charging $50 back in 2002 when the consumer didn't know anything about that. You know, it was just coming out. But it's 2015 now. You know, things change. We know now that it doesn't cost shit to play games online. We know you don't spend any money on the servers.
And it's just the way he talks. Like, obviously everybody shits on Microsoft and EA and a bunch of companies that are, you know, Nintendo nowadays is trending, right? But the way he talks is like, it's so raw. Nobody else is doing it like this. Matter of fact, nobody else on YouTube talks like Donkey. I really like this.
Because I always am back into the bunker.
If I take inspiration from any YouTuber, any creator, ever, since I've been watching YouTube for 15 years, it would be this guy, who I would most closely follow in my own content.
Because I always wear a red shirt. You already know this goes in. You dumbass fucking dude. Birdie putt. This one's for Birdo. This is for you, Birdo. Ho, ho, ho. That's the sound that Birdo makes.
Dude, like, what was that?
To me, you stupid game. If this goes in the water, I will return this game.
There's this part where he's like, I make this shot every day of my life.
I'll never play another Assassin's Creed game in my life.
Okay.
Everybody in the entire world knows that I'm famous for making this shot. Prospector said someday you'd come, sweet mother of Abraham Lincoln. The prospector, he'll want to meet you. Say hello to the prospector. Putter?
What?
Bullshit. Bullshit club. I use the driver here. This goes in. And that is how you, and this is how the game of golf is. Still playing amateur league, huh? Not me. Not me, baby.
I never played these games growing up.
Pay close attention here to Toad's
The
head.
Mario sports games.
Notice how he has dual
But they look like they
heads.
could be fun for stream.
This is the key to his power. That could be in. That could go in. That.
Mm.
That's golf. Redo. You people know nothing about me. I make this shot every single day of my
Every
life.
single day of my life. I don't give a shit about the Digimon franchise.
Really, game. You're still giving me the putter.
Look,
After that hole in one. Interesting. Interesting that you think that of me. Plumber Brothers Fuck You is the only game on Nintendo's new console. Following a suit with the launch of their previous system, they have no games for this black piece of shit. That's the one.
Cheers.
So in a quick last-minute attempt, Miyamoto rounded up his Goombas to make a new Mario in a week. Now, according to these despicable liars, it took them 3 years to develop this game. In their defense, you can spend 14 years snorting coke and sucking dick, then just make the game in the last week. New features include cannibalism, ripping off a Call of Duty, ripping off a Resident Evil, rainbows if you're into that kind of thing. There's a new
Oh my
troll
God, I
mode,
destroyed that.
run mode, boxing. You see, the problem with these games is that they're made for little bitch-ass kids. Rarely do you ever die in this. The biggest obstacle you have to overcome in this game is the stupid-ass Wii U controller. This thing is enormous. The first one, the DS, was a fresh,
I wish I had one.
well-executed idea. Then they sold it to us again and again, and now this. Look at the art. It's the same exact rendering of Yoshi. For the logo, they just popped out Wii and put a U in there instead. What happened to a time
like, who do
when
you hear
Mario's
that
name on
talks like
property
this on
actually
YouTube?
meant something? Your only bleak hope of encountering anything challenging is if you try to collect all the star coins or play the challenges and try to get the gold medals. But unlike the real Mario games, I don't feel compelled to collect this stupid yellow shit. In 3D Mario games, you know there's 120 stars to get, and only once you've collected them all have you beaten the game. I don't know how many of these stupid coins there are. The game doesn't even tell you how many you have. Mario Sunshine, boom, top right. I got that many stars. This game doesn't give a shit how many coins you have. These things are...
I mean, yeah, eventually we'll play all the Mario games. Eventually we'll play all the Zelda games. But I mean, of course, we have to establish ourselves with popular games first. To be able to then do whatever we want. Whatever I want. Where's my... No, not the website, dummy. Where is it? It says it's open. It's frozen. Okay. Again, back to the list. It's because I can, you know, when I say marketable games, I'm not talking about games that people like, right? I'm not gonna play a game just because people like it, right? Because if otherwise I would be playing Fortnite. I want to play games that I want to play, and I want to play all these, right? But I can imagine myself making clips of Celeste because, you know, it's a hard game where you're raging, you know, it's a game where you're overcoming like a very intense challenge, so that's very perfect for shorts, that's what I mean. You know, but it's like, Silksong, the only content that I can imagine making for Silksong is like explaining the lore, like a cinematic video, like Video. You guys know who that is? You know, Super Mario Galaxy, that's obviously a very bright game with a lot of colors. It's gonna catch people's attentions right away. I used to watch this guy every single day of my life. See, for example, this one.
Who are the Kaiden riders that patrol Limgrave? The word Kaiden actually refers to the name of their home settlement, which is located somewhere in the mountaintops of the Giants, far to the north. So, what are the Kaiden doing so far from home? Well, the Kaiden are mercenaries, so their purpose is tied up with whoever they fight for, and most of the time, they seem to be fighting on behalf of the undead nobles. These wealthy nobles
this guy,
hailed from
I've watched his videos for so many years, since I was 17, so like 8 years ago I started watching him, and he does lore videos for Dark Souls and Bloodborne. This video right here, 13 million views in 10 years. That is my favorite video on YouTube of all time.
The oldest and strongest emotion of mankind is fear, and the oldest and strongest kind of fear is fear of the unknown. H.P. Lovecraft.
Our eyes are yet to open. Fear the old blood.
Like, is that not just cinematic as hell? And look at this guy right here. I'm sure you guys know who he is. This guy makes like creepy and horror videos.
A realm full of some of the strangest, most perplexing, and haunting posts out there. Threads that make it seem like something is wrong. This is the dark side of Reddit.
I don't want to make videos with quick cuts. I don't want to make videos with brain rot edits. I want to make something slow paced, cinematic, engaging, but not with dopamine, with real Jesus Christ, my microphone, why did it do that? With real, like, meaningful topics and games. So I think Amore is going to be really easy to make shorts for too. Again, it's very colorful. The combat system is very just like visually engaging. Metroid, Super Metroid, yeah, that game I can beat it in a day, maybe 2 days. And, you know, again, very colorful, very iconic. You know, people are talking about Metroidvanias with Silksong. Could be another one. Pokemon Violet, also another one easy to make shorts for. Maybe I should download that one right now, literally, because I've never played this game. I stopped playing Pokemon after Pokemon Sun because I just thought that Sword and Shield and this one were trash, which they were at launch. Wait, what's the difference? Control, I want to play that game for sure, and I will. And, you know, the thing about these games is, like, you know, like the RPGs, right, which are the ones that I like the most, they're going to take me like 40 hours to beat, maybe 30, because I played them already and I know what to do. But like games like BioShock, this game is like 9 hours tops. This game right here is like probably the same, probably like 10-15 hours tops. This game is like 8 hours. So these games I could knock them out very quickly. And maybe because of that I should be doing that. Resident Evil games should be like 10 hours each. Those I can do. The ones that I think a lot about before starting, right? Because if I start doing something like this, I'm just, if I start making videos on RPGs, I'm going to be able to make less videos less quickly. So I should probably stick to the shorter ones, right? But I think I'll alternate short and long, short and long. Maybe 2 short, 1 long. Super Mario Galaxy. I want to play. This one. Because this is a really good game, Super Mario 3D World. But Bowser's Fury specifically I haven't played, and I hear it's really good. This one should take me like 5 hours to beat. Which one else? What else should I play? New Horizons, Hades, Doom Eternal. I do want to play Xenoblade Chronicles 3. But maybe I shouldn't be focusing on that right now because it's not, it's going to take a long time to beat. This is definitely a long RPG, 40, 50 hours. Metroid Dread. I never played Metroid Dread. And if this should I play, maybe if my content on this one does well, I'll do Metroid Dread as well. Shin Megami Tensei 5. I would love to do that. I think 3 is more iconic than 5. Bowser's Fury. I won't play this one, the 4th gen remakes. Legends Arceus would be great. Persona 5. I wouldn't play that. That game is 100 hours. Mario Wonder, I was playing that. It was okay, honestly. It wasn't very good, but I guess I didn't expect that from a Mario game. Pikmin 4 could be good actually. I'm gonna do this just so I'm not gonna download these games right now, but so I can remember them later on down the line. Princess Peach Showtime. Donkey Kong Returns HC, which was, full price. Ori and the Will of the Wisps. That's it. Come on. Indie World? No, thank you. I don't really like indie games that much. There's very few good ones. What am I downloading? Violet. Should we start that today? Nah. Command Option Ask. Roll Force Quit. Ryujinx. While I'm here, let's clear out. Okay. Or was it? What? Don't tell me there's gonna be shader caching, because it's gonna be laggy as hell. Is it even launching? It is going to be shader caching, isn't it?
Open your eyes. Open your eyes.
Well, what? Something crashed. It crashed. Yeah, I know that. Okay. It is gonna. Okay. This game, I remember when it came out, and it just changed everything about Zelda. I mean, it kind of changed all of Nintendo. Unskippable cutscene. Hmm. But why, though? Why? Let's try this one right here. It's not loading. Hmm? It's an NSP. Maybe the maybe the CMU emulator will be better. I mean, I'll get Ryujinx working. I've got it to work before. I used to play these games on my M1 MacBook Air, so maybe it's worth a look to look at CMU. Oh, guys, this girl, she's awesome.
Hey
She
guys.
makes great videos. I'm not gonna watch it right now, but I just like it. Hmm.
So did you know that you can play Nintendo Wii U games like Zelda Breath of the Wild on the Apple Silicon Mac? So that's any Mac with an M1, M2 or M3 chip or any future Apple Silicon chip. And this is all possible thanks to a Wii U emulator called CMU. So today in this video, I'm going to show you the full installation tutorial on how to get this work on an Apple Silicon Mac, how to load up the title keys, how to load up ROMs, how to set up the graphics settings, and how to get games like Zelda Breath of the Wild and other Wii U games working as well as possible on Apple Silicon
What is that
hardware. So the first thing
resolution?
I'm going to do is to go to the CMU website, which I'm going to leave a link to in the description. And then I'm going to press the download button, which is going to scroll us down on the page here. And we can't download the Mac stable version. There is only a Windows version, which is available. In order to get the Mac version, we need to download the latest experimental version, which we're going to click on here. And it's going to take us to the GitHub page. And basically, whenever the main branch of CMU gets updated, then the GitHub action will automatically generate a version of CMU, which is the latest version. And the thing about experimental versions is that they might not be bug tested as much as mainline branches, and you might experience bugs or regressions. But what you can do is you can use previous versions of CMU as well, which you can download here as well. However, we're going to be sticking with the latest version here. So all we need to do is to expand this asset section, and then we can see this Mac OS version here. So this is a 64-bit Intel build, and we're going to click on this and then download the emulator. So this is going to go into our downloads folder. So we're going to minimize this. Then within our downloads folder under Finder, we're going to double click on CMU Mac OS. This is going to open up a DMG folder, and then we've got CMU here, which we're going to drag and drop into applications. So now that's been dropped into the applications, we're going to go to our applications folder, and then we're going to scroll up or down until we find CMU. So CMU is here. We're going to double click on this, and if this gives us an error message, don't worry about it. We're going to hold down the control key on our keyboard and then click on CMU again. Then we're going to press open, and it's going to bypass that error message. Here we're going to press open in order to open this manually. So just wait for that window to come up, and now basically we're going to go through the setup process. So first thing we can see here is the MLC path. So this is the root folder of the data. You don't have to change this. This is optional. Next up, we have game path. So this is the location of your game ROMs. So the best way to get game ROMs is from extracting genuine Wii U discs from a jailbroken Wii U. So I'm not going to be able to link to you where to get games from. They can also be downloaded from the internet. And basically what I want to do is to click the browse button and then navigate to your list of games. So here, for example, I've got a bunch of Wii U games extracted here. For the most part, they're going to have this WUX extension on the end. I'm going to select the root of the folder and then press open. And then this is going to be the game path that's going to load up. Lastly, we're going to be looking at graphics packs. So we're going to be downloading graphics packs, and these are basically improvements to various games. And these are basically community tweaks, hacks, and fixes, which are pretty much essential if you want to get a good experience out of these games. So definitely recommend downloading these. They're going to apply to a whole bunch of games, including games like Tic Tac Tournament, and also Zelda Breath of the Wild, which we're going to be looking at today. So what we're going to do now is to press the next button, and then this is going to allow us to tweak our input settings. So I do highly recommend pairing a Bluetooth device. Just go to System Settings, go to the Bluetooth menu. So this is a PlayStation 5 DualSense controller. Each controller is going to be pairing slightly differently on a Mac. However, to put this in the pairing mode, this button here.
That easy, huh? It's loading. Maybe I shouldn't have closed that video so quickly. But it should be loading, right?
And also Zelda Breath of the Wild, which we're going to be looking at today. So what we're going to do now is to press the next button. Press to emulate the Wii U Pro controller here under the So here it's saying that this is an in-development build of CMU for macOS. this is experimental, so just be aware that there can be known issues, degraded performance due to Molten VK and Rosetta for ARM Max. Press here, I understand, and now we can load up some games. So in order for games to actually load up, we need another component, a file called keys.txt. So we're going to go to Finder, and then we're going to press the Go button up here, and then we're going to hold down the Option key, and that's going to reveal this folder here called the library. So make sure to hold down Option, click on Library, and then we need to go to Application Support, double click, and then we need to find our CMU folder, double click on here, and then we need to double click on keys.txt. So the keys.txt
where again?
Application Support, double click, and then we need to find our CMU folder, double click on here, and then we need to double click on keys.txt. So the keys.txt contain the encryption information for disk files for all of the WDWX files for the ROM here, and then we need to double click on keys.txt. So the keys.txt contain the decryption information for disk files for all of the WDWX files for the ROM
hold up.
Here called the library. So make sure to hold down Option, click on Library, and then we need to go to Application Support, double click, and then we need to find our CMU folder, double click on here, and then we need to double click on keys.txt.
It doesn't have
so
a keys.txt.
Keys.txt contain the decryption information for disk files for all of the WDWX files for the ROMs which have been extracted from jailbroken Wii U's. Basically, you need to either extract them from a jailbroken Wii U, or you can find them online quite easily. Just type in Wii U keys.txt and you'll find plenty of entries.
I'm guessing that will do it.
You want to copy and paste the contents and then save them in the file here. It should look something like this. Then when you press the File button and then Save, and then that keys.txt file has been edited.
Say where?
Then when you press the File button and then Save, and then that keys.txt file has been
Oh,
edited.
well,
then we can go to our game window here, and then we can right click on the blank space and then press Refresh Game List. So if the games aren't showing up, what you can do is just close CMU and then reopen it. And then now that the keys.txt has been installed correctly, now we can load up games. And then basically we're going to go ahead and load up a game. So we're going to load up Breath of the Wild. Just before that, we're going to go into options again, go to graphics packs. And within graphics packs, you can see all of the community graphics packs that we downloaded earlier. And if we expand this, we can see specific fixes for specific games. And what's important here is that we changed some graphics settings here, which is specific to the Breath of the Wild. So here I'm going to change the resolution to 1080p, and we're also going to add some fixes as well. So I'm going to use
Dude, I'll play this game in freaking 4K.
Expand mods, and we're going to go to FPS++, and we're going to add this mod. We're going to set a 60 FPS limit. Under enhancements, we're going to set the clarity to Surfrost preset recommended, and basically we're going to be using
Jesus Christ, I keep checking this video.
She don't believe in shooting stars, but she believe in shoes and cars.
1,000 views, guys. Our first video with 1,000 views. It's a short, but 1,000 views is 1,000 views.
I'm over the trips to Florida, order the orders, views of the water, straight from a page of your favorite author.
I mean, I guess I should be nice to this guy, right?
Man, why can't life always be this easy? She in the mirror dancing so sleazy. I get a call like, where are you, DZ? To try to hit you with the old wapty, till I get flashed by the paparazzi. She don't believe in shooting stars, but she believe in shoes and cars. Wood floors in the new apartment, couture from the store's departments. You more like love to start. I'm more of the trips to Florida, order the orders.
I mean, now that I'm listening to it, it kind of just sounds like, because it wasn't really properly mixed, that doesn't blend well the vocals with the music. Like, the music should be louder. And this thing, there's a high frequency that is boosted a little too high.
I'm more of the trips to Florida, order the hors d'oeuvres, views of the water, straight from a page of your favorite author. And the weather's so breezy, man, why can't life always be this easy? She in the mirror dancing so sleazy. I get a call like, where are you, DZ? To try to hit you with the old wapty.
Yeah, I can do a better job of it. I could always repost it. Simu. Where? Why is it not here? Oh, application support. Simu. Keys. File. Save. Do I have to do that? JKLMNOP QRST. Yeah, Breath of the Wild. There's no reason why it shouldn't open. But it's like hard crashing though. You know what I'm saying? Shouldn't be having any problems. Let's just set up the file. Game paths. We'll add this. Where was I? Desktop. Here, and then we'll move that. File to it. Let me just finish watching that damn video.
So did you know that you can... We need to double click on keys.txt. So the keys.txt contain the decryption information for disk files for all of the WDWX files for the ROMs which have been extracted from jailbroken Wii U's. Basically, you need to either extract them from a jailbroken Wii U, or you can find them online quite easily. Just type in Wii U keys.txt and you'll find plenty of entries. Basically, you want to copy and paste the content of the file here. It should look something like this. Then we press the file button and then save, and then that keys.txt file has been edited. Then we can go to our game window here, and then we can right click on the blank space and then press refresh game list. So if the games aren't showing up, what you can do is just close CMU and then reopen it. And then now that the keys.txt has been installed correctly, now we can load up games. And then basically we're going to go ahead and load up a game. So we're going to load up Breath of the Wild. Just before that, we're going to go into options again, go to graphics packs. And within graphics packs, you can see all of the community graphics packs that we downloaded earlier. And if we expand this, we can see specific fixes for specific games. And what's important here is that we changed some graphics settings here, which is specific to the Breath of the Wild. And basically we're going to the game. So as you can see, the Wii U game Zelda Breath of the Wild is working not too badly on the Apple Silicon Mac. So this is on the base M3 chip with only 8 gigabytes of RAM. And we're getting a pretty decent 20 to 30 FPS in this game. Plenty of other Wii U games are also playable on the Apple Silicon Mac using this exact same emulator. Now, if you are
I guess I'm gonna have to take time to really figure out how to do it.
alternative emulator as well called Ryujinx, which is the Nintendo Switch version. You might get slightly better performance using that if you're looking to play this specific game. I'll leave a link in the description for my Nintendo Switch Ryujinx emulation tutorial. Anyway, I hope you found this video useful.
Oh my god, Nintendo blocked this video. They striked it. Oh.
And it's going to go ahead and launch the game. So my first impressions of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom on Mac is that it actually runs really well through Ryujinx. However, using the 60 FPS patch as I enabled it before results in some inconsistent performance as well as visual glitches, for example this flickering on screen. Also, some cutscene audio wasn't working correctly at 60 FPS, and I think that there's more work to be done until 60 FPS works correctly on Ryujinx.
No big deal.
So one thing I did was go ahead and replace the 60 FPS patch with a 30 FPS patch instead, and this resulted in a gameplay experience with far fewer visual glitches and a more consistent
30
performance and
FPS.
frame rate. Also be aware that there's a substantial amount of shader compilation stutter. That means that when certain effects and animations are done for the first time, the game will stutter until those shaders or animations are cached, and then the next time you perform that same action, then it's going to run smoothly instead of stutter. So overall, I'm really impressed how a AAA title like Zelda Tears of the Kingdom works really well on Apple Silicon Macs through emulation. Now I'm aware that I'm running this on my M1 Max chip with 32GB of RAM and 32 GPU cores, so it's not going to be indicative of every single Apple Silicon Mac.
Shouldn't
this
matter.
First version of Ryujinx.
I doubt it's going to take more than... Well, I guess I thought it would be a lot easier. To run this stuff. It should be. It was fine the last time I tried. Look, at my other screen I'm looking at this. I have Pokemon Violet here. There's no reason why it shouldn't work. But it doesn't read it. No applications found in selected file. Does it only read XCL games? Let's do this one. Both NSPs. There's no reason why it shouldn't write, but and maybe it's a common thing. This crashed at the intro, but the while the firmware and keys are outdated or mismatched. Oh, great. Well, I mean, this is the one I downloaded earlier. This one right here. Maybe you could try this one. I mean, I guess I kind of have to. Hmm.
In this video, I'll be showing you how to download the simulator Ryujinx. I've been hearing a lot of people say that Ryujinx is down, but I'm here to assure you that it's not. The first thing I want you to do is go to the link in the description.
Oh my god, this guy's a legend.
Ryujinx download for you, and there also should be a gift there for you.
A gift. Gift.
My description. The first thing I want you to do is unzip the folder that has the Ryujinx official build in there. After you unzip that folder,
It should be universal, right?
Emulator for the first time, you should be greeted with a message that says this. We're going to have to add our encryption keys and our firmware to our emulator. I will not be showing you where to get the encryption keys or the firmware or how to download them, but if you downloaded the link in my description,
Wait a minute.
you should have everything you need to be successful within this download. To add the encryption keys, we're going to go back in our emulator. We're going to go to the top that says File. We're going to go to the Open Ryujinx folder, and then we're going to find the folder that says System. Once we find that folder that says Systems, we're going to go ahead and double-click that, and this is where we're going to add our encryption keys 18.1. Now, once we do that, we're going to exit out the emulator, and we're going to go ahead and add the firmware. To add the firmware is quite simple. We're going to go to the top where it says Tools, and then we're going to click on where it says...
Well, I probably don't need...
from XCI or Zip. Once we click that, we're going to go ahead and find where we got...
Yeah, because that's the X64.
We don't even have to unzip
So,
it.
let's
You can
just
find the zip file of it. It should
download
be
these.
18.1. We're going to click it, press open, and then we're going to get this...
The beauty of file
invitation right
sharing,
here.
man. This
We're gonna
guy's a
simply
straight
press
legend.
yes. After that, our firmware and also our keys have been installed. The next thing we're going to do is go ahead and configure our controller. The next thing I want you to do is go up top to options. Then I want you to go to settings. I would like for you to go down to input. Input is where we're going to get our controller set up. Now, if you're using an Xbox input controller, at the input devices, when you scroll down...
Let's try it. Keys 19.0. Do they have to stay as zips or no?
We're going to go to the top that says File. We're going to go to the Open Ryujinx folder, and then we're going to find the folder that says System. Once we find that folder that says Systems,
Yeah, but he did he do it in, did he unzip them? He did.
Exit out the emulator.
Oh, wait. And then for the firmware, it should be the right firmware, right? Please let this work, please. Your current configuration is invalid. Open settings to reconfigure. It's because I totally expect this to not work, actually. Just because it's a little harder to get this stuff working now since it's been taken down. And since it's a little older. You never know if you have the right versions or the right whatever. I totally expect it to not work. But yeah, just last year, late last year, I was playing Nintendo Switch games on my MacBook Air. Oh great, it's crashed again. $64-bit? What do you mean by that?
It looks like Ryujinx, the Nintendo Switch emulator, is now officially dead. So if you go to the Ryujinx website and you click on the download page here, it's completely blank. There's nothing to be seen. And if we try to go to the GitHub page, this gives a 404 error. So it's been completely nuked and removed from the internet. And if we go to the Ryujinx official Discord server, we'll actually get some answers from a developer here. So what I'm going to do is read out this message from Parry Parry, one of the developers of Ryujinx. And this is pretty much as official a message as we're going to get from the team. So it says here, yesterday, GDK-chan, who's the founder and the main developer for Ryujinx, was contacted by Nintendo and offered an agreement to start working on the project, remove the organization and all related assets he's in control of. While awaiting confirmation on whether he will take this agreement, the organization has been removed. So I think it's safe to say what the outcome is. Rather than leave you with only panic and speculation, I decided to write this short message to give some closure. So it's pretty clear that based on the actions of GDK-chan, that the Ryujinx project is basically dead. And the messages below here basically sum up some of the unfinished work that was in the pipeline. And it's really sad to see that we won't see some of these features. For example, they had an iOS port that was working really well, which was able to work within the restrictions of the hardware without any JIT. And without a UI or JIT, it remained a novelty, so it was not released. So it's a shame that we'll never get to see this. I'm afraid I'm not going to play any of these because they're going to get copyright striked. And it also says here that they had a working Android port which did have a UI, but due to driver quirks and OS issues, it was not in a releasable state. So it's really sad to see that this was in the works but had to get canned because of all of this drama. And also you can see that there's a developer here called Isaac, who you might already know as the developer of Whiskey, the kind of crossover-free alternative, was working on a metal backend for Ryujinx on Mac. So this would replace the Molten VK renderer and offer much better performance, but unfortunately all of this work requests are going to be orphaned, and it's never really going to see the light of day. And finally, they also had a lot of progress getting native applets working, improving compatibility and overall user experience. This would have been a evolution of the emulator going forward, but changes were stuck in limbo and never got released.
Never installed it or what?
And here we can see that developers are chiming in and saying that, you know, they've contributed years to this project and they've learned a hell of a lot. And it's really sad to see all of this work go to waste. And unfortunately, with the demise of Yuzu several months ago and the way that Nintendo have been quite aggressive in trying to protect their intellectual property, it seems that this project was kind of doomed from the beginning. And it was only a matter of time before before this happened. Unfortunately, with both Yuzu and Ryujinx now basically legally dead, it means that there's no current Nintendo Switch emulators on the market. So this means that on Mac side, on the Windows, and all of these future Android and iOS ports, all of these things are dead. And it really seems that Nintendo have really stepped up their game in terms of the aggressiveness of which they try to attack emulation in general, even if it's legal. For example, on my
Oh. Okay. Ryujinx Canary 1.3. And then we're gonna do, okay, let's try it again. Please, 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 please work. Once, if I find a version that actually works, I will never, ever in my life get rid of it. I will save it and archive it for the future. Hmm. 1.5.0 though. That was the version that I was playing. Hmm. Well, I guess I just gotta delete them. What is going on with that? I don't think Perplexity will be able to answer me this question, but He didn't mention anything about keys though, did he? Like for Switch? Hmm. I don't remember anything about keys in this one. Let me go talk to my homie, Andrew Sai.
And then install firmware. Flawless support description. And what you're going to notice is that manually open this file. So we've opened this up and now it says that Ryujin's keys cannot be found. So we need the prod.keys file and various other files in order to proceed. So next what we're going to do is to set up our prod.keys and title.keys file. So I'm not allowed to show you where to get these files from. You should extract them from your own jailbroken switch, or they can easily be found on the internet. We're going to copy these files and we're going to go to Go and Finder. We're going to hold down the Option key to reveal the library section here. And then we're going to go to Application Support, double click. And then we're going to find the Ryujinx folder, which should have been created when you opened up Ryujinx. And then we're going to double click on System. And then here we're going to control click on this blank space and then click Paste to Items. So those files are now within the correct folder. So next we need to install the switch firmware into the Ryujinx application. So this should come in the format of a folder with various NCA files inside of it. You should extract this from your own jailbroken switch, or you can find these files online as well. I'm not allowed to show you where to get them exactly, but they're fairly easy to locate. So now within Ryujinx, we just open this up again. We can go to Tools and then install firmware, and then install firmware from a directory. And then we select the folder that we've extracted with all the NCA files within it, and then press open. Because the keys files are in the correct place, this will successfully install. So press yes to continue. And now that's installed, it says here we are on system version 16.1.0. So next what we need to do is to go ahead and add a game directory. So this is going to contain NSP or XCI files, and what we're going to do is to add the directory with all of our Switch ROMs in them. Getting games is quite straightforward. You can rip it from a genuine Switch cartridge with a jailbroken Switch, and also they're quite easy to find online as well. So here we've added my directory, and then press OK, and then we've got Red Dead Redemption right here. So if we have an update file, which often comes as an NSP, what we need to do is a right click on the game, and then we're going to click Manage Title Updates, and then we're going to add an update, and we're going to add this update here for Red Dead Redemption, and it's going to allow us to play version 1.0.2. Then press Add and press Save. So if that doesn't refresh, you can just click the refresh button here, and then that's going to show 1.0.2. So now we're going to pair a game controller. So I'm going to be pairing my DualSense controller here. So to put this into pairing mode, it's quite straightforward. You hold down the share button here, and then you hold down the home button until the LED starts flashing. So you can see that's flashing, that's going into pairing mode. Each controller has a different way of doing this, but basically we can just go to Bluetooth settings on the Mac system menu, and then in the bottom
I guess that's not what I need. I don't know. I really don't know what to do. Well, I mean, obviously I'll figure it out, but I should probably. I mean, it's been almost 2 hours that I've been trying to figure it out, so I think I should just move on.
This is by far one of my highly requested videos. A lot of people want to know how to play a Switch emulator on the MacBook. So today, I'm going to show you. In this video, I'll be showing you how to download Ryujinx for your MacBook. For this particular method, you're going to need the official Ryujinx OS download. You're going to need the keys. You're going to need the firmware. And you're also going to need a Switch game in an NSP or an XCI file. Friends, I will not be showing you where to get the keys, the firmware, or the games from because I have an original copy of everything. Go to the link in the description. Trust me, it'll help you so much.
Hey, look, it comes with Bowser's Fury. Nice.
The first thing we're going to do after we go to
Download quota exceeded for this file. What do you mean?
we should have everything we now need to be successful within this download. We're first going to unzip any file that's not.
What does that mean?
The great thing about the MacBook is
Download quota exceeded
as soon as you download them. But if the
for
files
this
don't unzip
file.
themselves, just go ahead and double click it and it should unzip for you. The first time you open up Ryujinx, you'll get this indication right here.
Can't download it at this time. Isn't that what a VPN is for?
We're simply going to click done and we're going to go to settings. Once we're at settings, we're going to find where it says privacy and we're going to go in that particular tab. Once we're at that tab, we're going to scroll all the way down to the security section and it should give you this indication that Ryujinx was blocked. We're just going to simply allow it. And once we allow it, it should go ahead and reopen
Where is
for
it?
you and it should get an indication to put in your password. Go ahead and put in your password and now it should allow you to open the Ryujinx normally. When you first open Ryujinx,
My stream quality might drop a little bit, but just while I do this.
first thing that we're going to do, we're going to go to the top where it says file and we're going to open the Ryujinx folder. Once we find this folder, we're going to find the folder that says systems. Once we find that systems folder, this is where we'll place our keys. Once you place your keys, you simply exit out and the next thing we're going to do is add the firmware. You're going to go to the top where it says
But is that my thing because I've been downloading stuff? Or is it just like...
firmware from directory. We're simply going to find our 18.1 firmware. We're going to click it and then we're going to press open. You should get an indication that the firmware was added to your Ryujinx emulator. The next thing we're going to do is configure our controller. We're going to go to options, we're going to go to settings, and then we're going to find where it says input. Once at input, our controller type will be Pro Controller, and our input device will be whatever controller that you have plugged up and you plan on playing with. Whether that's an Xbox controller and or a PlayStation controller. You also can add or connect Switch Joy-Con.
Supposedly.
Like that. After you do that, you simply want to press apply. If you want to configure any button on here, all you have to do is click what button you want to configure and then manually click it on your game controller. The next part we're going to go to is systems. We're simply going to select ignore missing services and click apply. The next tab we're going to go to is our graphics tab. We're going to make sure we're invoking, and we're also going to make sure that our chip is selected. The last tab we're going to visit is our network tab. We're simply going to click guest internet, and we're going to click apply. The last thing we're going to do is add our games. We're going to go to the top where it says options. We're going to find where it says settings. We're going to go to the user interface, and we're going to look for game directory. We're going to click add, and we're going to select the folder that has our Switch games in it. After we do that, we're going to click apply, and the game should pop up for us. The only thing we have to do now is double click whatever game we want to play, and it should.
What's CLP?
If you're excited to play on Mac, please hit that like, and don't forget to go ahead and sub.
Well, these guys are saying it works. I don't know why it's not working right now, but no big deal. I'm sure I could try again tomorrow or something. Okay, well that leaves us with...
Cowboy for following me on TikTok. Shout out to me, Mass I Extinct for following me on TikTok, you feel me?
That leaves us with...
Bro, we got a lot of people in the TikTok. What's cracking, TikTok? Happy Friday, you feel me? Happy Friday, you feel me? We're having a beautiful night out here. I'm just getting ready for a date, bro. I'm getting ready for a date, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, this one would be the easiest one to get installed.
600 likes on the flipping YouTube stream. Fulcrum, you're live on YouTube? Yeah, my YouTube is Damien Luck 925. We have over 1 million subscribers, gang. Bro, spill. Shout out to Adam. Thank you for the gifts on TikTok, bro. You feel me? Shout out to Chaparita. Shout out to Chaparita for the follow. Shout out to Levi Clark for the follow. You feel me? Thank you guys for following me on flipping TikTok. And thank you for spamming as many likes on the stream as you possibly can, bro. You feel me? There's more people on the TikTok stream than there is the YouTube, which is crazy. Shout out to the YouTube stream, though. Shout out to JJ in the YouTube chat, River7.
No, I think
Hunter,
that's the right move. I think I gotta get
Christensen,
this figured out.
JJ Dog, Sky Bro. Thank you guys for pulling up to the flipping YouTube stream. Drop a like on the YouTube stream. 600 likes on the YouTube stream. We go to Yanjiman City. Best believe it.
So I guess while I figure out how to do that,
Shout out to Slats. Thank
I'll
you for all the gifts on flipping TikTok.
stream later.
Gifts, dude. It genuinely means the world, bro. I'm literally about to travel to Yanjiman City very
This one I could play for sure, but
at the end of the night. Yes, sir. Yup. Thank you, universe. Thank you, universe. Bro got me worried. Am I tweaking? What did I do that was worrisome, though? You guys acting like I'm doing something wrong. You guys are literally worried because I haven't shaved. Bro,
I'll think about it. I'll make another list.
You guys gotta really like. You hear me?
I'll figure out how to do the Wii U emulator.
I'm gonna be worried about someone because they didn't shave, bro. I mean, unless you have a other reason that's like more valid. For real. No, Kizzy. No.
We'll do that.
No, Kizzy. No, Kizzy.
Yeah, I'll come back tomorrow with all that figured out.
Content from you. I've been dropping
Shout out Fulcrum.
content all year, and I got more videos on the way.
But I'll see you guys later.
Hundreds of videos this year. People say, Fulcrum, where have you been? What happened to the videos and the live streams? I've been live streaming every single day, and I've dropped